Welcome replay viewers, my name is Michael Aud. I'm here in Centennial Park in Sydney, Australia. This always was and always will be Gadigal land, so I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and those emerging. Hey John. Hi Bill. So it's about 19 degrees Celsius, 67 Fahrenheit, quite overcast and just a slight drizzle sprinkling. Ken. Yes, it's an alright morning. Oh look, someone left their soccer ball behind over here. It is a bit gloomy, but it beats 3 degrees, yeah. Well, compared to the 40 degrees we had the other day, this is nice and comfortable. So I'll take it. It's going to be a bit rainy over the next couple of days, apparently, which I don't know. It's a trade-off, I can either be working in searing heat or put up with a bit of rain. Sometimes I'm not sure which one's more annoying, but I have to say overall that this weather's a bit more comfortable. Our coffee sponsor this morning is Campos. Rain beats a heat stroke, yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, I guess I can just put my raincoat on and deal with it. Either one in extreme is not much good. G'day, Maran. And you might have noticed they've taken all the fencing away from the pavilion now, so we can get back there. Okay, Stephen. Maybe go for a walk, eh? Go have a look. Oof. Having to stretch it out a bit this morning. Oh. Sitting up here on my rock. Well, I guess all trees look weird if you're not used to them. Which particular tree looks weird? See if I can go steal that soccer ball. Oh, I have to come back and get it, I suppose. You're talking about the cook pine over there? Araucaria. I forget what what's its genus, its species name. They always lean towards the north, apparently. Does look a bit odd. Odd in comparison to what though? That's the question. This is the doggo area. A lot of people come to walk their dogs here. Oh, hang on. Speaking of dog walkers. See? Stop letting your dogs dig holes. It's a hazard to public safety. Looks like a Christmas tree on a Christmas tree. Yeah, I guess it does. So there's a few up there. There's one there. There's a few around here. Let's see. There's some doggos out running. You can see what all that hot weather's done to the grass. It was quite lush and green around here only, a matter of weeks ago, and had this real hot spell last week, and everything's just been roasted. But we've got a couple of cool days, a bit of rain. Hopefully will help to recover somewhat. Oh, what are they doing? Looks like they're doing some work up at the amphitheatre as well. Have to go and have a look. Yeah, absolutely needed that rain. It was pretty brutal the last few days, like last week and early this week. That heat really did a number on things. Roasted a lot of stuff. Oh, well, there you go. Merceness has got the opposite. Oh, and look, inside this circle, no dog may cross. See, can't go across the line, but they always do. You can't tell a doggo just to stop, can you? Well, there you go. Merceness landed on his ass. See, this is all the work they were doing. They were cleaning all this sandstone. That's what it was all. They'll vaporise you, I don't think so. On your arm and your side, okay. Well, better than your ass, I guess, in some ways. So they've given this all a good clean. And done a bit of blasting, made it all nice and clean again. Well, that's what happens when you slip and land on it, mercenaries. Things are gonna hurt a bit, I think. This is on all the states. So that's the 100th, so the centenary of the Federation. G'day, Kevin. Oh, look. Oh my God. It's open. What the? I've never been in here before. I've never been able to go in here. I don't think I've been. Actually, have I been in here? No, there's no rush to get the COVID vaccine out here. I think they're talking about late February, doing a slow rollout throughout the year. They just approved it a couple of days ago. It's great acoustics for singing here too. You guys want me to bust out a tune? A solo mio. Sorry, I think that was the Ace Ventura version. Ooh. It's got an interesting echo. Do some tap dancing. So this is when each of the colonies was founded. So you got your South Australia, 1836. So this is a monument to colonisation. Victoria, 1851. Queensland, 1859. New South Wales, the original point of invasion, 1788. The year of living very dangerously. Taswegia, 1825. And then they were all federated together into the Commonwealth of Australia on the 1st of January 1901. There you go. Looks like something from The Fifth Element. Yeah, it could be. I don't know. It's an interesting... Yeah, I'll zoom in on this so you can see it a bit. Faith, hope and charity. Indeed. Well, that's what they say, John. That's what they say. It's not a target. So, there we go. Jeez. Beard's looking a bit wild this morning. So is the hair, actually. Everything's a bit wild. Oh, looks like the Doggo Convention is getting bigger. I feel a very light mist falling on me. Rocking the homeless look, always. I love a bit of understated homeless hipster vibe. Just, it makes people stay away, keep their distance a bit. Which is a good thing, by the way. Yeah, well, it's a good thing that we don't really require it to be N95 because when I wear a mask, I'm not actually doing it to stop me from breathing something in. I'm just trying to limit to some degree what I'm spewing out. And if everybody does the same, you know, it all goes to a good cause, right? So yeah, when I wear the mask, I do have a bit of hairies hanging out. Yeah, exactly. It's a bit of a problem when COVID's a thing because, you know, everyone comes together around their dogs and huddles in groups. But I mean, we're out in the open air, it's not really an issue. Australia's big, social distance is easy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's interesting. I was listening to a podcast this morning about they've done like a comprehensive survey on all these countries and, you know, the success rates of how they've handled COVID over the year. And, you know, they used all these different metrics to measure that and all this sort of stuff. And it was a very, very interesting listen. And I think they rated Australia about 8. But they said, you know, obviously one of the big advantages in Australia is the fact that we are a relatively small population and geographically separated, you know, so we can keep, and the fact that because they said what they noticed in the statistics is that countries that had relatively small populations, like under 10 million, generally handled it, in a very general sense, handled it better. And in Australia, what we have is a situation where more or less the states, because we're so separated, kind of handled the most of it themselves. G'day, hang on. Wait a minute. We've got I remember the name. Long time. Yeah, New Zealand, definitely. But what they said about Australia is, even though we've got a population of like 25 million, most of our response was handled more or less state by state. You can call it hence hence sounds a bit easier. So yeah, anyway, but the point was that Australia had this response where we were very much kind of geographically separated by state, so separated down into smaller populations, and that was a bit of a factor, it seems, for whatever reason. So interesting. Also, it didn't seem to matter whether it was a dictatorship or whatever, you know, or a democracy. It was more about how the population trusted their leadership and had competent medical systems in place as well. That was another big factor. So it was a lot about, you know, political leadership, not necessarily the style of leadership. Yeah, it was a really interesting. I'll have to find the article and maybe tweet it out, because it's just a really interesting. Well, it was on the Guardian podcast, the Australian Guardian podcast, called Full Story. So if you look that up, well, they took into account all those different factors about how it was reported, how good their testing was, all that sort of thing. But it's not about people willing necessarily. It's about confidence in their government. So there's a big difference. So it's not really down to individuals and how they. I mean, this is all just based on the different ways they study this and the metrics and whatnot. Australia failed in vaccine research. That's an interesting statement, Merceners. That's not how science works. Oh well, it is how science works, but it's not a negative. It just happens to be the way it went, for various circumstances. And but we've just approved. Our TGA just approved the Pfizer vaccine, so that'll be rolled out in late February to the most vulnerable, and then later on throughout the year, you know, down the order gradually as we see what happens. So I see what's going on. This is the G'day Scotland. They've got this fenced off for the outdoor cinema, I think, yeah. So they set up a screen here, and they have an outdoor cinema during summer. Heard that there were some bushfires recently. I think there was a few fires in WA recently. Most of the major bushfires that happened here was over a year ago. So this is like a amphitheatre built into the hillside, and they this is what they call the Moonlight Cinema, and then they set up the screen here. Yeah. So yeah, you can come and sit out here under the stars and watch a movie on a summer's night. Probably no good if it's raining, but the last few nights where it's been super hot would have been a good chance to get outside. So this location has also been used for filming movies right here. This particular site, the two of the movies that I know of was The Great Gatsby and Peter Rabbit. This was used as a outdoor set for scenes in those movies. So I believe in The Great Gatsby they had a house set up just on the hill behind this tree here, set amongst the trees. I'm not sure what parts were used in Peter Rabbit, but they kind of had this whole area fenced off and were using it for filming for a while. They've got another area just across the way that's all set up for, it's all being set up as a set now. Oh, here comes the rain. Put my hood on. Can we spot the green light? What do you mean the green light? What's the green light? Oh, for Great Gatsby, yeah, right. So, no, I don't think so. No. The one thing about the Great Gatsby is a lot of CGI going on. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I couldn't, to be honest, watching the Great Gatsby, I couldn't really even pick exactly what they filmed here, but apparently they had the house set up over here somewhere. Yeah, it's supposed to be, but just goes to show. And by the way, I mentioned the other day that they'd been filming a car chase scene in Canberra. That was a Liam Neeson film. Apparently that film was mostly shot in Melbourne, and I think it was called Dark Light or something like that. So whatever movie is just wrapping up production that stars Liam Neeson. So there's a lot of Hollywood productions here in Australia, you know, because of our COVID situation is quite good. And so I was reading an article that apparently a lot of Hollywood movies are looking to come to Australia just because of the ease of production compared to other parts of the world. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know what the movie's about, but it's sort of just kind of had the vibe of every other Liam Neeson movie, so I don't know. Could be. Take shelter under here while the rain is blowing through. If you can, hang on, might be able to see a bit of the rain if I zoom in. Just very, very light rain, but getting a little bit heavier. Just sitting under this tree here. It's giving me a little bit of protection. Yeah, you could probably just very, very lightly. It's kind of nice actually, as long as I'm not getting too wet. Just having that breeze kind of come across. Not too bad actually. Oh look, bloody dog digging a hole over there. Look, breaking the rules. Owners, don't let your dog dig holes. It's a public safety issue. These dogs, man, they're having a good old time. Look at them go. Look, digging a hole. Digging it deeper. Get the ball out of there. Yeah, exactly. Replace your dog divots. I think they saw me pointing the camera at them, and I don't know, they would have heard me from here, but it would. She said they suddenly got a bit self-conscious about the dogs digging holes. Isn't it amazing how with that heat, see how all the areas around under the trees haven't been scorched because of the shade? So it's still nice and green underneath the trees, but all these exposed areas of grass have been are being scorched. It's really interesting. I mean, not surprising, but just interesting to look at. Just shows what a difference the canopy of the trees makes to the temperature. Because like I said, we hit over 40 degrees in some places here on Tuesday. It's actually quite a variance. In the city, I think they only recorded a high of 30. And at the airport, which is only a few kilometres south, it's not very far away from the city at all, they recorded 41.6. But then again, I guess the airport is a very exposed open area with very few trees, so I guess it makes a big difference to the temperature, the air temperature. G'day, Polly. But Polly actually there, or did she come and go? I can't see a bubble. Hang on. Yeah, I can't see Polly's bubble. She must have accidentally tapped in. Yeah, she was kind of in and out. I don't even see her bubble. But yeah, look, this is a interesting one. We were talking about that tree before. It's see how it's got that double trunk. So it's got 2 crowns basically. Splits down pretty low. Peace. She's gone. She's gone. Take it to replace her. She's gone. Not very good at hauling oats. Interesting houses up around here. That one's got a nice view from upstairs down into the park. Someone up in the window there, I think. Is there someone in the window? Oh, it's just a reflection. I thought there was someone in the window. I could see a bit of movement. I think it's just a reflection. Yeah, so you're good at hauling oats, but you're not good at hauling oats. Is that what you're saying? Nah, thing is, I don't mind singing, but I'm terrible at remembering lyrics. So I'll start singing something and then I'll just be like, it's just like, yeah, oh, Merceness is back. And he's badder than ever. Oh, you're parked, yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't tell people that you're driving and watching Scope at the same time, Merceness. Just keep it a secret to yourself. You have coffee in hand? Me too. Yeah, I know that. I know you just listen. I mean, but sometimes, you know, you might be a bit sneaky and get distracted. You have Apple Auto. Well, I don't know. I just got plain old Bluetooth. Yeah, no, I did the same. I don't know. I don't advertise it when I'm doing it just because I don't want people to feel uncomfortable about it. Yeah, no, I get it. I know. Oh man, don't you hate it when your coffee just suddenly goes cold like that and it's that weird tepid temperature? It's awful. I hate it. Some people like it. I can't stand it. I need it to be hot. I don't mind iced coffee, but tepid, middle of the range hot coffee that's gone cold, ugh. There's a bit of magpie action. Bit of puppy action. Doggos, yeah. Good, the cookers. Sounds like the kookaburras are waking up. No fire, no, just trees. Hey, friends, yeah. Hey, how you going? Can I sniff your butt? Yeah, come and sniff my butt. What are you doing? Nah, let's just play ball. So exciting. Always exciting to come to the park and find new friends, huh? That white dog is so excited, man. He's just pinging. Absolutely peaking. Dunkin' Donuts coffee is good? Yeah, okay. If you say so, Nurse. How's the weather? Well, it's g'day, Carrie. It's about, when I started, it was about 67, and a bit quite overcast, as you can see, and a little bit of drizzle falling. And anyway, the pavilion, as I put in the title, this is the Federation Pavilion, and I don't know if you were here earlier. I just went for a walk around inside it. It's a monument that was, the monument inside it was placed there at Federation, which was on the 1st of January 1901, which federated all the British colonies on this land into the Commonwealth of Australia. That's so funny. She didn't even chuck the ball. The dog's like, where's the ball? Where's the ball? So all of the British colonies that were set up on this land, now known as Australia, came together to be federated into the Commonwealth of Australia. So the actual birth of the nation of Australia was on the 1st of January 1901. Yeah, I don't know, but all those things like Dunkin's and like Starbucks and that mass-produced sort of coffee chain sort of coffee, I don't know. Look, I can drink McDonald's coffee. It's probably similar, but I don't know. Anyway, so what I was saying is, but that structure, that dome that's around it, was only built, I think it might have been built around the Centenary of Federation, around 2001. Or maybe it was earlier, I'm not sure. I did actually read about it. I can't remember. It was a more recent thing, but the actual obelisk inside was originally put there in 1901, and they had a very large parade from the city down to here, and they had the original gazebo that was built around it was only made out of I think it was plaster of Paris or something, and it disintegrated within a year or two. And then I think they had some wooden structure around it, which is now at Cabarita Park, I think. They moved it out to another place in Sydney. And yeah, they've built this one. So I'm not really sure what's been there over the whole history of the 120 years. But this particular large, big dome structure was only built in more recent times. So, well, I don't know about in America, Nurse, if McDonald's coffee is bad, but here our McCafe is quite, it's reasonable. It's a bit hit and miss, but it's reasonable. But in Sydney we have plenty of cafes and good baristas and really nice coffee. So we don't really have the necessity to go for those big chain coffee places like your Starbucks and stuff, which is probably why Starbucks here really they tried to make a big go of it maybe about 20 years ago or so, 15, 20 years ago, I think. They tried to really establish themselves here, and they kind of crashed and burned, and there's a few still around, but I think it's just because we have such an already established sort of coffee culture here that window, and they have window poster advertising. Pink velvet macchiato. Yeah. See, I don't know. I don't go for all that stuff. I'm a pretty simple coffee drinker. I just stick to my cappuccino normally. But yeah, I did have a bit of Starbucks when I was in America. I mean, it wasn't anything spectacular. I found a really nice place actually just around the corner from where I was staying in New York City, called McFrappe. Yeah, I'm not big on them. The frappes are alright, but I'm not big on it. I don't mind an iced coffee, but the frappe, yeah. But Starbucks is overpriced, well, probably. But yeah, well, they had like Starbucks in the hotel I was staying at, in the like the, what do we call it, where you go to have breakfast. They actually had like a Starbucks franchised kind of coffee in there. But anyway, there was a place around the corner called Central Grounds, I think it's called. No, not the lobby. It was like the the dining hall or whatever you call it, where you go and have your breakfast and stuff. And they served Starbucks coffee. So I had some Starbucks, and it was interesting, but it wasn't, to be honest, it's like, this is just your run-of-the-mill average coffee. But Central Grounds was like more like what we get in Sydney, like a proper sort of hipster cafe, if that makes sense. Tennis ball. Let's go see the magpie meeting that's going on over here. There's a bit of a conference going on over here by the looks of things. See what they're discussing. So yeah, it was a welcome discovery. Yeah, it's a magpie convention, exactly. It was a welcome discovery when I found that nice little cafe around the corner in Midtown New York City, because it was much more like what I was used to. Oh wow! I just came across a headless rat. Interesting. Yeah, that's what they're talking about. They're like poking holes in the ground, going, "Don't worry, everyone will blame it on the dogs." They're doing that thing with their wings where they kind of walk around all puffed up. Yeah, you indeed. That's why I didn't show you, mercenaries. See, they all kind of... No, I don't think it's mating season. Yeah, it could be elections. That could be what it is. They could be on the campaign trail. It's kind of like an emu bob, but it's a magpie bob. Oh, hang on. What's going on? Walking around looking for worms. Oh, got something? What are you guys looking for? Found anything? G'day, ratter. Nah, I think what they do is they're walking along, and then because they've got this like really super sensitive hearing, and that's how they listen out for grubs in the ground. And so I think what they do is they just walk along looking for something, and then they stop and go, oh, hang on, do I hear something? See? Oh, hang on, is that something there? Oh, got it. He spotted some bug. I think they might just be on the lookout for any little bugs that are hanging around in the grass that they can nab. There you go. There's the little crested doves down there. What am I up to? I'll be working soon. But right now, I'm just wandering around here talking to you guys. These are the guys that hang around at the at my front door, and sometimes come in the house. And but they're really skittish, and when they take off, they make this sound like. Yeah, their wings kind of make this sound because they have this sort of flapping motion that they're not. They're called crested doves. They're not pigeons. But when they take off, they get spooked and they just take off, and they have a particular sound. Oh, look out! Doggo's chasing the magpie. It's like, ooh, what were you looking at? I believe so, mercenaries, because they're definitely not pigeons. This guy's he's out to chase the birds. So give me those. Oh, here we go. Oh, feeding time. Look, there we go. I see. Just baby just got a meal. Right, here you go. Mine. So this is mum, dad, and baby stalking around. Look, there's the other one. That's so that's mum over there, and this is dad here, and that's the baby. The nuclear family, as they would say. And lorikeets up here. Oh, fly away. Wait, who's what? Says the difference is more linguistic than taxonomic. Well, I shall defer to the experts, mercenaries, but I wouldn't say they're the same, but you know. Do I look like an ornithologist to you? It's a bit hard to see with that light behind. Did you hear that one just take off? That was the dove. When they take off, you can hear their wings. They make a particular sound. These guys actually, I'm surprised they're still right here while I'm so close, because normally they're very skittish. Yeah, the flapping wings, they just go, they have that sound like. Because like I said, they hang around at my front door, and normally as soon as you come to the door, they just fly away. They just take off in a real big hurry. But these guys are obviously a bit more socialised. Yeah, did you hear that when he took off? Almost lost his dog. Won't come back. Yeah, they've got that crest. So they're called I think it's like is it the Australian Crested Dove or something like that? You might be able to look it up. It's I think it's called the Australian Crested Dove or Eastern Crested Dove or something like that. But yeah, it's interesting the way that they're just sort of here and not particularly bothered by me. I mean, if I got a bit closer, I'm sure they'd really disappear in a hurry, but I'm used to them just flying away at just the sight of a person. Schon gut. I don't know what that means. Is that German? According to Wiki, the crested pigeon is a bird found widely throughout mainland Australia, except for the far northern reaches. The big dog. Nasty dog, doggy dog. Yeah, nah, definitely not with the mask. Nah, they're always a bit. I always find them to be very skittish birds. That's why I was a bit surprised those ones weren't too perturbed by my presence. The northern tropical areas, only 2 Australian pigeon species possess an erect crest. Love an erect crest. Crested pigeon and the spinifex pigeon. Crested pigeon is the larger of the 2. Well, there you go. How about that, eh? Old mate's having a drink. Get into it, son. Get into it. Big dog needs a big drink. So there you go, eh? We've learned about the crested dove today. That's it. Always got to learn something new every day. Kafer is a big fan. Adana. So this is the Ficus macrophylla variety macrophylla, the Morton Bay Fig. With the rather large buttress roots. Probably in human years this is like in its 20s or 30s. It's not quite full potential. Probably. I don't know, yeah, if I had to estimate the age of this tree, I'd say it could be anywhere up to 50 or 60 years old, possibly a bit older. But they do get much bigger than this. But see, this is how they kind of grow. They have the big buttress roots down here, and then they have these very low spreading limbs that come right out. It's a, well, that's what I was just saying, it's a Ficus macrophylla variety macrophylla, the Morton Bay Fig. So generally, I think they're found down at these latitudes, but more so a little bit further north. In Sydney, our native fig is the Ficus rubiginosa. But this is also found in these parts, and you know, sort of, I think a little bit further south, but they were very much distributed by the colonists, because I guess they found them to be, you know, really tough, you know, ornamental trees, so they sort of took them and planted them in parklands like this everywhere. But they're extremely tough trees, and just good climbing trees. So, there's various different versions of trees like this as well. There's you know, you've got your you know, like your banyan trees and those sorts of things. Same sort of, basically the same family of tree. But this one over here that everyone was saying was the unusual looking tree. This tall, straight tree. It's the cook pine, which is an Araucaria that comes from New Caledonia. Again, we have mostly the ones you see around here are the Norfolk Island pine, which is the Araucaria heterophylla, which, as its name suggests, comes from Norfolk Island, which is in the Pacific Ocean east of New South Wales. Giant leafy cactus, yeah. It kind of, I mean, it's a conifer. So actually I should go up close and show you the foliage so you can see what it looks like. Oh, excellent, Steffi. It's pretty good. I mean, it sounds slightly creepy and threatening, but also I'm impressed. Yeah, well, I know. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say that you're familiar with this spot because it's a very popular doggo spot. So see, it's got this very compact arrangement. See? And it's as it looks, it's very feels very sort of almost plasticky. Well, yeah, I mean, this is we have been watching the doggos play, and it's a very popular spot for off-leash dog action. Yeah, kind of waxy, smooth. And look, even all the conveniences. Oh, look at the Frenchie going for it. He's getting into it. Go, son. I don't know what's going on this morning. I'm not seeing people's bubbles. Just another one of those periscope glitches, I guess. But yeah, I was pointing out before how roasted all this grass is and how in the circles under the trees where the shade is, it's maintained the green. It's really quite stark to show you what a difference a tree makes. It's all these little circles of green underneath the trees. But yeah, I really came here thanks, Nurse. Well, you know, somebody's got to hold up the standards while the app's going down in flames, right? Started acting, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, oh, look, I think it started acting weird 12 months ago when they basically decided they weren't going to bother with it anymore. Yeah, anyway, I came down here because they'd taken the fences down after doing all the cleaning and renovation of the pavilion, so we could have a closer look. And I found that it's always locked normally, and now it's open. So we had a look inside. And I'll, for those of you who weren't here before, I'll take you for a bit of a look-see. So this is the obelisk that I was talking about before, that was here originally from Federation in 1901, but this structure around it was built only more recently. Yeah, so. Yeah, it's really cool. It's got pretty good acoustics in here too. I once scoped here and there was a guy playing sax just outside for the acoustics. It's pretty. It sounded really good actually. Nurse, if I knew any opera, I'd start singing it for you. It sounds really good in here. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. And here's our monument to colonialism. It tells you La Donna es mobile. I don't know that one, Mercenaries. I only know the ones from Ace Ventura. Solo mio. How about that? That's very funny. Sorry, I always make myself laugh with that bit. So it tells you when each of the colonies was founded. So New South Wales, 1788, and so on and so forth. Is that an angel? Are you an angel? Sorry, deep cut Star Wars reference there. Is that an angel? Oh, painted on the glass. I don't actually. You know what, Mercenaries? I have to actually research what this artwork is. Is that what you're talking about, though? I mean, it says a Yowie, faith, hope, and charity. So I'm not really sure. Yeah, it looks like a man walking, but I'm not sure what the actual artwork is meant to mean, because obviously there's some Aboriginal artwork over here, which those symbols all have meaning and tell a story. So they talk about, when you see the little squiggly lines on the tracks, it's about, a river and someone walking and all this sort of thing. So all of these symbols have meanings, and they tell you a story about the place or whatever. But I'm not particularly skilled at interpreting, but that's what all that means. So it'd probably be, I imagine it's like some sort of story of the nation or something like that, but I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Any who's will be. I'm gonna keep going for a wander over here. Someone lying down over there doing their pedaling in the sky on the bench. It's always interesting what you see out here. There you go. Federation Pavilion coming out of my head. Slides the underside of the is a montage of 1,440 vitreous enamel. Is that what we're saying? Enameled steel panels by artist Immense Tillers. The mosaic was recreated by Greg Lippman in 2000. Yeah, I thought it was around about Federation, a centenary of Federation. 2000, that's right. So that's what I was saying. The light reflected onto the work from both the central overhead oculus and from water in the stainless steel trough concealed behind the inscribed sandstone frieze, the focal point of the mural. Interesting. Well, there you go, that's what we were just looking at. So, see that thing on top? That's the occupies only a small portion of the dome, the remainder being left white to depict the vast emptiness of the Australian land. See, I love having somebody who can do the Googling while I'm scoping, because unless I have I always think I should have a second device so I can Google myself, but it's always cool to have somebody who can go and do the Googling for me, and I can read as I go. That's good. And flags. But I'm going to go have a look at the cockatoos, because there's we've seen the Magpie Convention, but there's a huge Cockatoo Convention going on over here. Thanks, Mercenaries. There's a huge Cockatoo Convention going on over here, and I'm going to go and find out what's going on, because I mean, it's important to know about magpie issues, but it's the we'll look out. Got to be careful, you get hit by runners. It's important to know what's going on in the world of cockatoos, because they're the ones that really hold the balance of power, because they've got the numbers. So we need to go and are they dressed up? Don't think so. It's a great one. Well, it's a great way to enjoy the morning too. It's a much more pleasant temperature today. A little less brutal on the old the oppressive heat. It's nice to be out wandering around. I think my jacket's slight overkill, but it was a bit cool and a bit drizzly earlier, so yeah, temperature's a lot more comfortable. Yeah, well, that's what I mean, Mercenaries. It's a late day for you. It's early morning for me. But I think we might actually. This might be Corella's. You just woke up. Well, hey, do what you got to do, right? I think this might be Corella's, not the cockatoos. But hey, Corella's opinions matter too. Okay. We're all just waking up. I woke up a couple of hours ago, so I don't know. It's like half the day's gone for me. But yeah, well, you gotta watch that, Mercenaries. Yeah, he slipped on the snow and ice. Went down on not on his ass, down on his arm. All right, let's go see what's going on in the world of Corellas. Yeah, not good. I wonder if anyone will, if I can interview one of them. Yeah, they get on a big ride on Mercenaries. It's freshly mowed though. Excuse me, guys. No? No one wants to talk? Bit camera shy. Okay. Fair enough. I know. It's the face. I know, it's the hair and everything. Sorry. Yeah, there's plenty of them. They're always here at this time of year. I remember over at near the pond. Yes. I don't think they'd be interested. I remember that I did a scope once over near the kind of more over the other side there towards the duck pond, and there was like, well, whoa, look out, got to blow in. Yeah, I remember there was like, well, this many, if not more. All I can hear is their little beaks going click, 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 click in the grass. Yeah, bin chicken alert. That's the North African bird. Well, it's an ibis. No, ibis. I'm not sure where they're native to. Have to ask the expert. Oh yeah, there's heaps. Look at them. They're just like, check them out. They love these lawns. No, breakfast time. Egypt? Okay. Yeah, because apparently the colony that's in Sydney came up from somewhere in Victoria originally, They were in some zoo in Victoria, and then they seeded a colony here in Taronga Zoo back in the 70s, and then they just kind of decided, well, why would we just stay in the zoo? I mean, because they had this idea of a free range colony in the Taronga Zoo, and then they just kind of they said, well, you're not locking us up, and there's heaps of really good garbage tips that have got lots of really good food, so why don't we just sort of go and check that out? And then they just kind of radiated out from there, and now they're just ubiquitous birds in Sydney. You should come down here and find them one day. They're always, I think at this time of the year, they're always sort of down here and just nipping at the grass. But, what do you guys reckon? Yeah, it's heaps. They're always like in mass numbers. And they don't really care. You can just wander around and see them. And, you know. No, absolutely not. I think it's an absolutely healthy thing. I actually think. Well, look, not to throw shade on people who don't like animals, but I think it shows somewhat of a higher level of empathy and humanity or whatever if you can enjoy loving animals. I don't think you can love animals too much. I mean, I tend to find the ones that don't like animals are a bit of psychopaths. Yeah, they do. Puppy pants, yeah. Well, it is a type of parrot. It's called a Corella. The African sacred ibis was an object of religious veneration in ancient Egypt, particularly. Yeah, they are they're really interesting to look at close up. But, associated with the deity Jehuti, I don't know how to say that, or otherwise commonly referred to in Greek as Thoth. Sounds like I've got a lisp. Thoth, bro. Talk to them. Yeah, I'm talking to them. They're just not talking back. I've tried to interview one, but they keep sort of running away from me. Sorry, guys. Oh, yeah, and they get a bit. Look at this. They get a bit sassy sometimes. They're like, "Get out of my way." To the other guys. How about you guys? Do you want to talk? Are you going to say hi? There's lots of people want to hear what you've got to say. Yeah, I'm just interested in. They just nibble the grass shoots out. Oh, where you going, buddy? I'm trying to. Yeah, see. A white cockatoo, also known as umbrella cockatoo, is a medium-sized white cockatoo. This is a Corella, nurse. Endemic to tropical rainforests on islands of Indonesia. When surprised, it extends a large, striking crest. Yeah, Corella. C-O-R-E-L-L-A. Corella. Use Corella in a sentence. I was walking through the park when I stumbled across a Corella. The long-billed Corella. There you go. You hear one of them's going. Who's making that noise? I think it's this guy. Baby. I think that's mum and dad, and baby is like. Hang on, sorry, I'm zoomed here. Lysmetis is a subgenus of the white cockatoos. They are collectively known as Corellas in Australia. Okay. 3 of the 6 species are primarily, or only, found in Australia. Maybe a little corella, maybe. Well, listen, as I said earlier, I am no ornithologist, so well, I'll try. I can zoom in. Hang on. Let's have a look. Because if I get too close, they just kind of hop away. They live in pairs. That is a question I'm not sure what most. I mean, I know most cockatoos mate for life, I think. Pretty sure they mate for life. I don't know about the corellas. Little corella? Alright. Hey, little corella! How you doing? Hey, little corella! Little corella! Hey, little corella! Little corella! Oh, little corella. So cute. Their beaks are shorter. Okay, yeah, cool. There we go. It's like when they're talking about the little penguins. I'm like, little penguins, little penguins. Hey, little penguin, little corella. Hey there, little corella. I don't know. I think they just go for the grass. I think it's just the grass. I don't know. I only ever see them picking at the grass like this, so I'm not sure what they're going for exactly. But they just seem to just rip up the little roots of the grass and kind of nibble on them. So I'm not sure exactly what they're going for. But this is what I see them doing all the time. They love a freshly mowed lawn like this. See? They just love to come here and just freshly mowed lawn, nice bit of green grass, and they'll just come and pick away, pick away, pick away. So they seem to be just, from what I can see, they just seem to be nipping off those ends of the grass and then giving it a little nibble. Oh, okay. Okay, well, there you go. That solves that mystery then. And there's a small ibis convention going on over here too. They eat the roots? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because they're not sort of taking the tips off the grass, they kind of get down just into the root zone a little bit and do that. They kind of nib it out, have a little chew. So yeah, they're not taking the blades, they're taking... Yeah, they're just going to get that little down in the underneath bit, just down in the rhizome, and they pick it out. They'd probably do a really good job of scarifying the lawn. It's probably good maintenance. Helps to regenerate the. I mean, this kaikui is pretty fast growing grass, so especially this time of the year. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not a greenskeeper. Like, I'm not really an expert at grass, but I imagine if they were causing a problem, they would do something about it here. But they obviously, the park staff don't mind them getting in here and doing this. So. And see how they're concentrated on, this is the irrigated area, it's green, and see how on the fringes how it's all brown. So you can tell where the irrigated areas are. So these are like playing fields, so they keep them irrigated. So obviously they definitely favour the green grass. What's this guy doing over here? There's something going on over here. They're digging a hole. There must be water over here, I think. Is there water in there? You want to make them... Yeah, come down here. I'm sure they'll make friends with you. There's something going on over here. I'm going to investigate. digging a hole in the brown area, and it looks like it's getting up to, I think there's a water leak or something. G'day, Pradia. What are you doing, buddy? Having a drink? What are you looking for? No, that's all right. You keep going. Don't mind me. All right, see you, nurse. Treasure, yeah. Obviously, yeah. He's digging. He's definitely digging a hole. Yeah, no worries, nurse. I'll catch you later. I've never had super hearts on. Not interested. What do I want super hearts for? I have a job. Yeah, I don't know what he was looking for down there. He's just digging. He was digging to. I don't know where he's digging to. Hey, you remember now? Yeah. Nah, I don't. Not interested in super huts. What's the point? We can't cash them in Australia anyway, so it's kind of pointless. Yeah. So if you ever give super hearts to anyone who's in Australia, you're basically just donating to Twitter anyway. So the doggos were digging a hole. Yeah, everyone's digging holes. What's going on? Look how fast the clouds are moving now. Really getting a roll on. And there's your Sydney Tower just poking up over the trees. Yeah, I know, eh? I mean, yeah, got to admit, I love a good hole myself. Can you see? No, I think that'd be just a bit too low. If I go over here, I can see, yeah, the Jenga Tower. It's a great example of brutalist architecture, though. People hate that. Oh, hang on, no, sorry. I'm talking about the UTS Tower. University of New South Wales. If I go over here, I might be able to see it, and we can have a look at this movie set and see how it's developing. Sorry, I was thinking of the wrong ugly building. See, this is where the movie set is. No, I've been trying to find out. I did notice that the one with Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton is supposed to be in production in Sydney now. They started just before Christmas. So I suspect it might be that one. I forget what it's called. But there's a couple that seem to be coming to Sydney, so I'm not 100% sure which movie it is. Yeah, exactly. And equally Idris Elba, heart eyes. Froth her, mate. I froth Tilda. She's a bloody good sort, mate. A frother. I proper froth her, mate. Yeah, she goes alright, the old Tilda. So this is it's a very flat area. Yeah, I think Thor production is mostly on the Gold Coast. I think, or I don't know, maybe it is in Sydney as well, I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of Hollywood movies coming to Australia. So, but what I was going to say is this is a very flat area because naturally this is all like sand flats and swamps and stuff. But this rock outcrop here is one of the few sort of elevated areas. So if you ever want to see anything, I can see the TAFE building. But yeah, this is a good vantage point to look over this set because it's kind of raised. It's one of the few elevated areas in the park. Yeah, it is very sneaky. So they're building some sort of they got like soil here. They got that structure they're building there. I'm quite sure what all that is. Actually, if I go over here, you see a bit more of the sort of structures and things they're building. Yeah, well, that's what they use Centennial Park for their big outdoor sets. And yeah, I don't know. I've noticed a few people when I was up here scoping the other day, kind of looking at me like all sus. But I mean, you know, it's a public place, so I mean, if they don't want people coming up here taking a peek, then they should fence it all off. So I won't push the boundaries, but yeah, it's a public park, so I don't know, fuck 'em. But anyway, that's all you can see really. There's not much else to it. I don't see that there's any need for any secrecy. I mean, when I was here the other day, I saw people just go right up to the fence and like sticking their head over the fence. They've fenced off this area over here too, so I don't know if that's going to be part of it as well. Maybe we'll go over here and see what we can see. I'll have to wander up and sort of ask somebody and see if they'll tell me, or maybe go to the coffee place, the little cafe trailer thing. So they'll know. People will know what's going on. But yeah, there you go. Ooh, don't do that. Oh yeah, they do. I don't know, you went in here earlier. I was talking about when I was over at the Federation Pavilion. That area there, I know, well, it's probably used for a few things, but I know they use that area for the Great Gatsby and for Peter Rabbit, up on the hill just behind the pavilion where all those trees are. What's wrong with... Yeah, a few people have said that. You reckon this is Jesus? You look at my profile pictures. Let the hair down. But yeah, I'm looking at cosplaying as Jesus. Come Easter time, it could be lucrative. Yeah. Anyway, so they've used it. There's a lot of they've done a lot of movies here in Centennial Park. It's quite regularly used because it's adjacent to Fox Studios and it's very, very handy. So they have done a lot of movie production here. Actually, one of my clients does a bit of extras work and stuff, and she was in Peter Rabbit, and so yeah, she worked here. G'day, my number one, Blurry, Sammy Magga, whichever moniker you prefer. Let's go with Blurry. I think Blurry's about the money. Yeah, they've just fenced this off. There's nothing to see here, I don't think. It's just got fences up at the moment, but I'm guessing they'll probably use it for something soon. Too Jesus-y. Hey, listen, I'm not a Jesus guy either, but hey, I can. But it doesn't say I can't cosplay as Jesus, right? I'll let my hair out and fly in the wind. Thanks, Blurry. I feel it's all a bit rough and rugged this morning. It's a bit wild down here, a bit wild up here too. But, oh yeah, I found this little structure the other day. Someone built a little hut out of sticks. It's a bit hasn't been maintained though. It's a bit worse for wear. Anyway, I'll show you this. So they've fenced all this off, which means. Oh yeah, I should have tried out. I should have tried it out. So Prajia, let's just let's confirm. Are you a fan of the look, or what do you reckon? Yeah, it used to have a bit more on top of it, but I think it's kind of gone down. You like the profile pic? Okay, cool. Yeah, I've got yeah, so my Periscope froths it, mate. So my Periscope profile picture is the kind of Jesus-esque one, and then I think this is old mate who was digging the hole. His face is pretty dirty. And my I forget which profile picture I've got where. Caught out, yeah. I forget what I got where, but I've got another one. I think it's my Instagram. I've got the Weller woman profile picture. That's a Corella. What's frothia? Oh, we got to start explaining Australian slang now. Well, if you froth something, I guess it comes from like you're frothing at the mouth, like you're drooling over it. You love it. You know, something you really, 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 really love. Like, oh, I froth that. So I haven't worked out exactly what they're studying here, but it must be some sort of insect monitoring or something, because they've got these little bags of various different things, and then they get caught in here. Definitely not always blurry. I mean, I try to give an answer. I can't guarantee it's the right answer. Well, look, we've had a bit of a catastrophe over here. We've had a branch come down. Bugs, yeah, bugs. Catching bugs. Yeah, that's it, exactly. So I think they're just obviously trying to monitor what insects are around and whatnot. But I was trying to figure out what, because they got various little bags up in there and I couldn't quite read what was on them. Gee, lucky I wasn't scoping under this one, eh? It's weirdly fun, yeah. Well, I've seen things like where they set up at night, they put up the big white sheet and put a light on it, you know, and you catch them that way as well. It's all very fascinating. Oh, and actually, I completely forgot because I got all distracted by the film set. I was going to look and see if I could see the University of New South Wales, but I don't think we can see it from here because I think it's kind of just hidden behind the trees over here. I don't know if we can quite see it from here. I don't know, I could go for a walk down to the duck pond. Might see it along the way. See, that building over there I think is part of the Randwick Racecourse. Dang me! Oh, it's alright. You know, people come and go as it suits them. Where am I starting? 7:45. Oh, is it? Fuck. Really? I didn't know. Is it that late? Oh, jeez. Alright, see you, Prajia. Good to see you. Long time no see. Don't be a stranger. Periscope won't be around for long. Oh, yeah, look, it's a little bit of a loose schedule this morning, but I should probably start making a move soon. I'm not working too far away. I'm just across the road at Willara there, so not far away at all. But I probably shouldn't go on a long walk. So just trying to see if I can see that building, because I know there are places where you can see it, but I think you need to get a little bit further over that way to see it. I think. Because I can see a few landmarks sticking up. Looks like the hills are... Really? Does it? I don't know if I can get that register. The hills are alive. I thought it was more the hills have eyes. Well, look, I'll tell you what I'll do. We're going to go for a wander over here. Sing it, sister. Sing it. You go, girlfriend. Yeah, but it's quite nice walking in here. Get the sound of the wind in the pine forest. The woods are lovely, dark and deep. And I have promises to keep. And miles to go before I sleep. Yeah, we had coffee at the beginning of the scope. We were sponsored by Campos today. I went to the place across the road from the... what do you call those gates? The Wallara gates, I guess. There's a little place across the road at that intersection. It's open at 6. I was there right on the dot of 6, first customer in the door. Said, give me my goddamn coffee right now. How long have I been live? Probably started... Well, if it's 7:45 now, probably about an hour and a half, I think. Maybe a bit less. I think I started around 20 past 6, 6:30, something like that. I think. I wasn't really taking notes, to be honest. I just got my coffee and came down here. Yeah. I don't know, watch the replay if you want. I kind of just wandered around over there and kind of doing what I'm doing now, really. But hey, that's what replays are there for, right? It won't make me recap. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's anything particularly special. I was just looking at the doggos. Went in the Federation Pavilion a couple of times. Had a look in there. There's a few more Corellas over here. I'm living the life. Yeah, well, yeah. Don't be deceived. Don't be deceived. Impressions can be deceiving. You feel seen? Yeah. Well, I just think it's a nice thing because generally most people aren't actually watching when you start, so it's just a good way to start because then when people watch the replay, they're the ones that are actually hearing it. So, but what did occur to me, well, yeah, okay, well that's nice. It is nice to share. Well, I guess that's why we do it, right? But it was funny. It didn't occur to me, but I was watching. I was watching a Paul Hogan thing not long ago, and Paul Hogan's thing was always his catchphrase when he started his thing on TV was "G'day viewers," or evening viewers, and it just occurred to me that it almost sounds like what I said at the beginning of my scopes. So I was going to start saying, "G'day viewers." Helicopter people! Helicopter on my scope. Well, hang on. Let's do this around. Look out. They're coming to get me. They found me. I don't know how they found me, but they found me. Get to the chopper. Yeah, that's a Royal Australian Navy Seahawk. So that was a Back to the Future deep cut. Look at all these dudes getting fit. Look at them. Boot camp styles. All these slightly overweight, middle-aged dudes here to trim off a few kilos. Yeah, work it, fatties. No, literally, that's what they are. They're all like middle-aged dudes with a bit of a paunch on them. I could stand in there and look right at home. I mean, it's a little late for boot camp. They should have been here at 6 a.m. From fatty to fitty. That reminds me of a joke my son told me. Well, it was a meme that he sent me. He said, it was a picture of 50 Cent. And it said, What did Fiddy do when Fiddy was hungry? G'day, mic'd up. Leading American men. American men? Yeah, I don't know if I could lead American men. Look, now these are pigeons. Oh, yeah, he sends me TikToks and memes all the time. Anyway, they said, what did Fiddy do when Fiddy was hungry? And then it says down the bottom, I don't know, it was like the number 58 or, I don't know, anyway, it was 58. Fan club, yeah. Well, you know, I'm glad people can enjoy. Yeah, I see what they did there. Well, is this the female equivalent? I don't know. So do I. I think, I mean, I don't know. I think most of the people that come to my scopes are fairly wholesome. I don't know. I wouldn't like to cast aspersions on anyone. Usually if they're dickheads, they don't put up with me for very long. Just the way I like it. Yeah, anyway. Yeah. That's right. Good. I'm not sure, that's what I'm trying to work out. This guy with a pretty cool hat though. Let's have a read. It's 5 to 8. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm making my way back. It's called, hey, check this out, Blurry. It's called We Won. My number We Won. Rugby. Yeah, it's some sort of sporting reference. So it says, this sculpture by Tommaso Sani was commissioned by Sir Henry Parkes and first erected in 1893. Restoration work by Fine Art Bronze Foundry was funded by the Eastern Suburbs Junior Rugby League and the Centennial Park Trust on the 9th of April 1988. There you go. Yeah, you need to be with that. Look, little cherub bums. Yeah, we won. It's getting windy, man. It's getting all windy up in here. Bit of sports ball action there. Well, you know what they say. Que sera, sera. What will be, will be. Parks is over there. Yeah, it's definitely time to finish up. I'm getting the are you still coming message. So that's when I know I'm being a bit naughty. Yeah. No, never put your clothes on. Yeah, let's anyway, we'll finish on the cannon. How about that? Yeah. Yeah? What's the question? I'm going to finish on this statue, I think. There we go. So if you're not following and you'd like to follow me, there's a link on the screen that'll show you how to follow. Yay, we won! Yay, we won especially. See you, Steffi G Machine. Apparently we did. And thank you all for your company today, your kind words. And I might see you later on. Don't know, we'll see what happens. Who knows what the future will hold. But I'll see you later. Yeah, no worries, hence I will try to be safe. No worries, Blurry. Catch you later. Bye for now. Oh, Katie, what are you doing? I'm about to go, innit? Anyway, hi Katie, bye Katie. I'm out of here. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. I'm going. I was just saying me goodbyes, innit? Very, very late at a party. Anyway, I'm going. Bye. Bye. Sexual.